Oliver with Money Difference, and I'm so excited today because I have one of my absolute favorite people with me today, and this is Kelly Ann Harris. And Kelly, welcome to Money Difference.
Thank you, Myra.
Well, we're glad to have you. We're just down home money, and us Kentucky girls, we can talk about that, can't we?
Yes.
So Kelly Ann and I met about 4 years ago. And we met when I was putting in franchises for Keller Williams Realty in the Ohio Valley area. And so I was in the state of Kentucky and looking for a top producer and a rock star. And I found Kelly Ann Harris. I found her. Yay. So Kelly Ann, tell a little bit about yourself. Tell us about, and then we'll talk about how you got started starting a business, because we all know 3 ways to build wealth is through rental property investments, and investments in stocks and portfolios, a portfolio investment, and then owning businesses. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Kelly Ann's going to talk to you. I mean, Kelly Ann has it all 3 of them. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about owning businesses. So take it away, Kelly.
Okay, so you want me to go back from?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got into, I was always intrigued by money. I was raised and wanted nice things. So I was like, evidently I'm going to have to go make some money because I like nice things.
I hear ya.
So I got into real estate when I was 25 years old, and I was a single mom, drawing unemployment, broke, and my roommate was flipping houses, and I thought, well, I'll be his realtor. And so I got in, and then 2 years into the business, I started investing in real estate.
Yeah.
So my portfolio, I've got about 2 years ago, I think I was at mid-30s. I had 30 some odd units. But I was a real estate agent. My assistant was managing them, and just wasn't fun anymore. So I opened up a property management company. We manage around 170 units. And I'm probably creeping around 40 something units at this point.
Yeah.
Those are about $2.8 million of real estate.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's that portfolio.
So tell me about your passive income from that.
Well, right now we, because I'm 35 years old, we use OPM, other people's money. That's our motto.
And they want to hear about it because they want to learn about using other people's money. So tell them.
So we've got about 60% of debt on those properties and the 40% of equity. So over the years, as we've put money down, I do have 2 business partners. I've had a couple failed business partners, and then now my business partners, Jeff and Stanley, they both, what I learned was if you're going to have a business partner, which are super hard to do, you want to make sure that you bring different things to the table. Partnership is tough. The good thing that Stanley and Jeff and I have is we've grown up with each other. We can fight it out, duke it out, and still appreciate each other and respect each other.
That is key to partnership.
So I think a lot of partnerships don't look at it as a team, and they look at it as they have other motives, right? So a lot of times I don't encourage people to have partnerships because that relationship's hard to find. Ours is very unique, and we know what lane we're supposed to be in. And if we cross over the lanes, we're usually getting...
So you kind of have to stay in your lane, right? On what your expertise is.
Yeah. So we have equity lines on all those properties that we use to flip property and then buy more property and put it in. So we're not, actually, the only money I've ever put into our portfolio is $5,000.
Wow.
About 8 years ago. So that's all I've ever put in.
That's pretty awesome.
Now I've had to put my money in and then pay myself back, but it's only $5,000. I know that for sure.
So are you changing out properties and stuff? I mean, do you like some you buy, maybe you flip them instead of keep them? What's your theory on buy, hold?
I would like to hold everything, but I need cash to purchase properties, and all of my income now is going into buying businesses. So my rental property just needs to fund itself. That's how I'm looking at it right now. And so pretty much the equity in our properties is letting us have a cash to be able to flip, and then make the income off the flip, pay the equity line back, go purchase more rentals.
I love it.
We're just doing that over and over.
So what's the goal? How many do you want?
We want 100 in the next 3 years.
Okay. So who is aggressively finding those properties for you? All of you? All 3 of you?
No, mainly me.
Okay.
And I, to be honest, haven't focused on it because I've been growing other businesses. So I've really had to focus on it. Sometimes they find them and they say, "Hey, Kelly, what do you think?" I do a trade program with a builder because I'm a realtor. I Also, my agents in my office, they know that I'll pay full commission because I don't care if at the bottom.
I'm the same way. I tell everybody, bring me something.
Yeah.
You can have the commission. That's
Yeah.
small thinking. If you're worried about a commission,
Right.
I'm looking for the long haul. So I love.
So
that you
I'm
do
like,
that.
a lot of my agents will bring me deals. I'll pay them the full 6%
Yeah.
or the 3%. They can act as the buyer's agent, and then I'll purchase it that way.
Yeah, that's
So,
great.
mhm.
That is good.
Mhm.
So, so tell them a little more about how you've also built a real estate business.
I was like, "There's."
Is there a moth back there? Oh well, we have critters. We're hillbillies. We bring the critters in with us. Go girl.
So what did you ask me?
I said, tell us about your other businesses and how through real estate you're building other business empires. Because it's pretty cool.
Pretty much, I have learned how to live off $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which is probably a little bit more than I want to, but I tend to like nice things.
Yeah.
Got a nice boat, a nice lake house.
Yeah.
So I live off $150K a year,
Mhm.
and then the rest, I honestly, it goes back into buying. So I've bought 3 Keller Williams franchises. I've opened up a property management company, and then a maintenance company, and then I have my team. So
Yeah.
I've taken. So normally I'm buying another company.
Yeah. Yeah.
With everything, and I just
Yeah.
live off 150, and then those other companies are now making me income.
Yeah.
It's still active. There's some passive, like profit share and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Most of it's still active income, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you're 35 years old. You're
Mhm.
young. And so
Mhm.
I think it's so cool that you're building all these assets to start throwing off a passive income at a later date,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Mhm.
because that's what
That's
you're
my goal.
doing. That is incredible. So tell me some more about owning businesses. What that's like, because you own several businesses.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that. Just tell me about the pros and cons, because I think everybody needs to know. It's not easy. There's nothing
Mm-mm.
easy about it. Because whenever there's people involved and emotions, it's a little harder. So tell about that.
One, it's always about the who.
Yes.
I've noticed that most of my businesses that take forever to kind of get off the ground, it's because I haven't had the right who. So learning how to hire and letting go of people quickly if things aren't, holding them accountable to business growth.
Yeah.
And if they're not growing, then they're going to have to go, unfortunately. So that, and I think now I have 9 income streams coming in. So
we talk about that, how to build buckets, so you have different income streams.
Mhm.
And 9 income streams is pretty phenomenal.
Mhm.
And at Money Difference, we talk about how you want to build a passive income stream so that if at a later date, like if something happened to you, if you got sick, couldn't work, that you would still have money coming in to pay all your bills. So the first goal we teach is that what is your freedom number is what we like to call it. A freedom number is a number that it would take to pay all your bills. Like if you know your expenses, and I would say, Kellyanne, I'm going to write you a check every month for the next year. How much is that check? And that's your freedom number. So that's what we teach, and then we go one step further to teach you how to build passive income streams, so that it's passive income, not active income.
Right.
Because active income, other people can control your destiny.
Yeah, and I would say that those properties, that's a hard. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet.
Sure.
But those properties, like we're putting every dime back into them.
Yeah.
That's why we have so much equity, and everything's on like a 10-year goal to pay it off. So
think about what will it be once you've paid all those properties off. What kind of income?
Most of them are averaging around 700. I would say. I mean, we're going back, so 700 times 40.
Yeah.
A month. So whatever the income of that is.
Yeah.
So we're in the 20-something thousands.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So y'all are building that. So I mean, 10 years to make that happen. That's pretty. That's a lofty goal. I think that's an excellent goal. But you're not using that money now. You're building it for later. Whereas a lot of people work, Kellyanne, 30, 40 years to have retirement. I know Rick's policeman retirement was going to be less than $3,000 a month. after spending 30 years at the police department,
Mhm.
25, 30 years. And so it was just smarter for us, for him to pull that money out, and we bought rental property, and and that's how we got started
Right.
many years ago. And so I just think that people, we kind of get in and you see people do this. I mean, you're so growth minded. That's why I love talking with you, because we see a lot of people that get caught up in a day to day rut, and they're not
Mhm.
happy, but they don't know how to get out.
Mm-hmm.
What would be some suggestions you would give people to start to help them see that there is a better way? Because I mean, you were on unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look where you were and look where you are today.
Yeah, just bet on yourself. You're going to hear a lot of people say you can't do it, or it's too risky, or it takes too much time, and you cannot let those people get into your head, and you have to just do it. Because I mean, I still get told no 24/7. Buying the office I bought in Columbus, Ohio, they're like, why would you want to buy an office 5 hours away?
Right.
Well, why not? I know how to do this. It doesn't take me as long to do this job as it did 3 years ago.
Right.
And I'm just doing the same job over and over again, just like on rental. I mean, if you look at it like how much time, but if you have the right people, it doesn't take as much time as you
Right.
think.
So it's at first it's time on task, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
You
you'll
got to do all the
leverage.
hard work, and you can't shortcut your way to it. A lot of people want to shortcut their way.
Yeah, they do.
And
They
they've
do.
got to put in the grind, and I think a lot of people don't want to work that hard.
I think you're right. I mean, there's a movement out there called the FIRE community, and it's financial independent, retire early. And this community is really figuring out, and they're millennials like you. They're
Mhm.
young people. They don't want to work their whole life. My generation, they kind of felt like that, well, we're going to work for the next 20,
Mhm.
30, 40 years because that's just kind of what their parents did,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And y'all have kind of broken the mold.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
I mean, y'all are kind of saying, you know what? We're going to have side hustles.
Right.
I'm going to do some stuff. I mean, technology's changed a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Mhm.
And I'm going to figure this out so that I can be financially free.
Mhm.
And I love that because y'all are looking at it. I mean, a lot of us, my age, woke up and I was like, I started in my 20s. But a lot of people wake up in their 40s and 50s and go, oh, crap.
Mhm.
I didn't save for my retirement.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, you can't bank on the government anymore.
You can't.
You got to go make it happen.
You
yourself.
really do. So, what would be some advice for somebody that's not in real estate, okay?
Mhm.
And they want to buy that first property?
Mhm.
What's some of the advice or tips or strategy you might give them?
We'll save the money, be able to put 20% down.
Right?
Find a good, reliable agent that kind of knows the ins and the outs. Make sure you pay them well. Make sure that you're going to stay loyal to that agent. I think a lot of investors aren't loyal, and so they just go find whatever agent brings in the best deal.
Yes.
That's not cool. We don't appreciate
At least
that.
realtors, we don't think that's cool.
Yeah, we don't. We don't like that because
No.
you're going to end up getting the bottom of the barrel of stuff.
You're right.
So if you find one agent that's really good at it, maybe they're good at foreclosures, short sales, maybe they're good at REOs, whatever it is. Find someone like that. Get in good with them so that they'll find you property, and then list with them if you flip them.
Yeah.
Don't try to do it on your own. I'm telling you, an agent will take care of you if you give them that. And then make sure that you go into the property thinking that nothing works. Because that's a good way to look at it versus, I hope I save here. Because you win when you buy, you don't win when you sell.
You're exactly right.
So.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And, it's true what you just said, because I had certain investors that I would always call when I'd get stuff because I trusted them,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew they would use me, and I knew that they were loyal. So
Mhm.
that's great tips, because then when I would get the good deals, they're the first people I call. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you're the same way, right?
Mhm.
That you have certain ones that you call because they always take
They're
care
gonna
of you.
use us, and they're not gonna skip from agent to agent.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So that's a great tip. Anything else you've got to share with us?
Do it all yourself the first time. Like if you're flipping, like you be the GM. Don't try to outsource it. Learn what it takes. I mean, I think that I've done everything from rip up tile to take down wallpaper.
Yeah.
I got fired from all those jobs, but I've painted, I've put in new toilets. Like learn how to do it. It's fun. Yeah, you're tired, but in the beginning, your margins might not be very big,
Right.
so you've got to kind of do those things so it's cheaper.
So let's talk about that. So if they're buying their first rental property, they've got their down payment. What would you say is a good profit margin after payment, taxes, insurance, any expenses. I mean, what do you think?
They have
is
another
good?
job.
Yeah, they have another job.
I won't touch anything if they have another job, I wouldn't touch anything unless you're making 10 or more on the flip.
On the flip?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. On a flip for sure, because
now if I'm putting 40K into something, then I better be making 15K. You know what I mean? I don't know what the math is on that.
Yeah.
If I'm doing more than 40, I better be making 20. We usually don't touch anything unless we're going to make at least 12 to 15. But we are so leveraged out. If you're having to do the work yourself, I mean, I guess if you're not making that income with your job, 10's worth it. But 10's not worth it.
How long does it take you
to flip one? Oh gosh, it depends on how many we have. Like we have 3 right now, and they're taking too long. Normally 90 to 120 days.
So there's some time right there that's costing you money and payments on your
and that's
interest.
by the time we get it on the market.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, we've got so much work, and we don't have enough hands.
Yeah.
Finding a contractor is the hard thing.
That's the hardest. I've said that before. I've said I've always had more trouble with contractors than anything. Just because when I get a good one, I always share them with everybody, and then they don't have time. Isn't that the truth? Especially in small towns, we tend to share all of our people, and then they get so busy they don't have time for you.
Right.
So what else would you like? Would you tell them to do a flip first, or would you tell them to buy their first rental property and get a taste of doing it? And then if they did buy their first rental, how much a month
I'd buy
would
your
you
first
need to
flip
make?
so you could double your money.
Oh, there you go. There's you a great tip.
Because then you're going to wait till you have money to get a flip.
Right.
Now you just made it twice.
Yeah.
Right. You
So-
still have your flip money, and you have rental.
Yeah. So you would buy the flip first.
I would do a flip first, and use the flips to. That's how we built it. We used the flips to buy rentals.
Share a little bit about that.
So, we would flip a house. We had cash. We would flip a house, and then we'd use the profit. We'd either tax exchange it.
Yep.
We'd do a 1031 tax exchange if it was over 15 grand. If it's under 15 grand, it's not worth the attorney fees, because the tax exchange costs you about $1,100 in attorney fees to do all the documentation. And tax 1031 means you're paying the tax, but it's just deferred to when you sell it. So we would flip, and then we would roll it into 2 or 3 properties, and then we'd get all our cash back, and we go flip and roll it into 2 or 3 properties.
Okay. So that you could build up some cash.
Yeah, other people's money. I mean, I'm going to try to. I mean, I've turned over my cash over and over and over again to build this portfolio.
Yeah. Do you like commercial real estate?
I'm just now getting into commercial. Just built an office, and hopefully about to buy some shopping centers. So
yeah.
we sold off 2 years ago. We sold off all our C properties, which those were the first properties we bought as rentals.
Explain that. ABC
C they're kind of like our slumlord properties, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So it was anything under 70,000. Our average sale price in Owensboro is 155, so it was about half the average sale price.
Okay.
So those were the ones that needed more maintenance.
Yeah.
They needed, like, they were always getting calls. The pipes were, just old homes.
Yeah.
Some people really like that because the cash flow is huge on them.
I have them.
Yeah.
And you're right.
I know. The cash flow is huge on them, but you're always fixing them.
You're always fixing.
So it's
you
like,
need to have a full-time maintenance person.
So it's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I have a lot of investors that love them. I mean, because they make such great cash flow.
Yeah. I mean,
they just take a lot of your time.
Yeah. I have one property I paid $50,000 for that I make $1,085 a month on, and I mean that's for $50,000. That's good money.
Right.
I mean that's the only thing is that the older properties, because you can buy them cheaper, of course.
Our B's are like our mediocre ones, and then our A's are the ones we've gone in and completely redone. And they don't need maintenance for 10 years.
So what are some of the rooms that you focus on when you're going in, you're flipping, and you're making it ready to put it on the market at the top price? What are some of your
so we're putting the LVT flooring throughout most of our homes.
Yeah. In the bedrooms too, or just in the?
No, we're doing carpet usually in the bedrooms.
Okay.
We're putting in new countertops. We're painting the cabinets. A lot of times my partners are cabinet people, so we'll usually, every kitchen gets brand new cabinets and every bathroom gets brand new vanities.
It's almost cheaper than painting, isn't it? I mean, by the time you spend
we
the
can
money
do
painting.
a kitchen like super cheap.
Yeah.
So that's why that partnership worked out really well. And then we're making sure the landscaping looks good. My partner loves to paint houses, so we tend to paint houses a lot. I don't care.
He paints brick?
Yeah, he loves painting. He loves painting brick. Like, we buy something and he's like,
oh, we're going to paint that brick.
and I'm like, why are we painting? But we did have to paint it on our last one of our flips that we're doing right now.
What's the most you ever made on a flip?
We bought a house for $275 and we put 80 in it and we sold it for $340. So whatever that math is, 175, 25.
So you paid $275 for it.
Paid $275 for it.
And sold it for $340.
So no, $440.
$440.
Yeah. So we
Oh.
yeah.
How much did you put in it?
We put 80 in it.
So you had $350 in it.
We had $355 in it. And we sold it for $440.
Oh, that's a good
Mm-hmm.
flip.
It was a good flip.
That's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You could not work for a few months on that one. That's good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best one?
That was probably we won on that one. Yeah.
Do you find that in the higher market, that's where you can have those big numbers rather than the lower market?
Yeah. It's just those though. I mean, that house took us 6 months to flip.
Okay.
So I mean, we can flip a house.
Carrying costs.
Yeah, the carrying costs
Get
were a little
expensive.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it goes hand in hand, but that was pretty good flip.
That's a good flip. All right there in your area, or are you branching out?
No, I know my target. I know my market.
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere else because I know my
Is that
market.
another good tip to tell people?
Yeah, like anything, like stick to the business you know, but I don't want to go somewhere else. I don't have the niche, and I know property at the back of my head.
See, that's how I feel. All of our stuff is right here in our area, and because of Rick going and fixing things and doing stuff, and we know I always tell everybody, you got to get you a list of people who are going to do all your repairs. And if you do that, if you've got a set list of people that can do your repairs, and you can call them, and then you build trust with them and loyalty because you're using them all the time. It gets a lot easier. It's hard at first because you're trying to figure out, because you can get, how it is. You can have two different AC companies come out, and the bid can be a difference of $200, $300, and that adds up in your profitability because it's all about sticking to profitability and budgets, right?
Right.
So, and it's not easy. So tell about that. How do you manage your money as far as budgeting, and are you doing P&Ls, or how are y'all keeping track of your finances for these flips and
so we have my partner's mom actually is our bookkeeper for that, so we just spreadsheet it.
Okay.
And she just puts it in, and then it's pretty much
so are your contractor buddies doing most of the contracting on the house, so that you
I
find
the house, I sell the house, and then they take care of all of the contracting.
Are you involved in the repairs too, or not really? Ooh, that's a good partner.
I don't even know what's going on half the time. I'm like, is that house ready yet?
I'm ready to list. We're always ready to list, right?
It's just not my job. My job is to find them and sell them, and their job is to fix them up.
So you do stay in your lane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love that. So any other tips and strategies you want to give us?
Just do it. Because what's the worst that can happen? You lose some money. Well, then you probably didn't have, then you probably need to make sure you have enough money to lose it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're going to fall on your face at some point. You just are.
That's just how it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't we all have to do
and
that?
And you can't get upset, like, if you're like, oh, this broke, or oh, this, like, you have to go into it thinking everything broke. So, before.
Yeah. So there you go, people. She gave you some great tips today. I just wanted you to meet Kellyanne because she is a mover and shaker in Kentucky. I keep saying she's my sister from another mother in Kentucky, and I'd sure take her because she's a good one. But thank you guys, and stay tuned. Come back and hit the subscribe button because we're going to have more videos to help you build your passive income. See ya.
Bye.